Now here in the UK, new figures show that net migration hit a record high in 2022. Net migration, of course, the difference between the number of people coming to live in the UK and the number of people leaving. Well, that rose to 606,000 last year. That was driven by people from non-EU countries arriving for work and study after the pandemic. Now that in itself is up from 488,000 in 2021. The figure does include people coming to the UK under resettlement schemes from both Ukraine because of the war and Hong Kong after the political crackdown in the former British territory. So let's talk some more about those numbers. We're joined now by an expert on skilled worker visas. That's Sarah Barnard, who's from the tech firm Aura. Thank you for being with us. And if you look at what we've seen in those figures, Rishi Sunak says that he supports a more pragmatic approach. One assumes he's talking about skilled visas there, but how do you read that? What do you take that to mean?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, because if 50% of migration is coming from people who are being employed on a skilled worker visa, that's great, because we need people to fill the 3.2% of vacant jobs in the UK. As you said, most of the migration isn't coming from the EU anymore. Before, anyone could come here, regardless of their qualifications. But skilled worker visas mean that we can control this a lot more, regulating migration and specifically fill the vacancies that we need.
Yes, and so politically it feels a little more palatable, doesn't it, if it's a skilled visa? And also, and you touched on it there is a time limit on it, so it's more controllable. But we know there is a huge backlog. How do we solve that problem of backlog of applications when businesses are crying out for workers to help boost the economy, which we're also told is a political priority?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a backlog because skilled worker visas are very difficult to get right, and employers have to make sure that they get the specific combination of qualifications, job code and salary. They have to make sure it's compliant for every individual visa, which is what causes those backlogs that you're talking about. The main solution we see to this is law firms using technology that's available to them to speed up this process so that the UK can see the maximum benefit from these visas as quickly as possible.
Sarah, it's good to have you with us on the programme. Thank you. That's Sarah Barnard there from the tech firm Aura. And it's a story that I think we will talk about again. There are now proposals, of course, to use AI, artificial intelligence, that might be able to speed up that process of processing those visa applications.